Hello everyone and welcome back to the Kevin FBA channel. This is going to be a pretty exciting video that I'll be making today, where I'll be looking and going over how to start a Amazon FBA brand in 2024 to 2025. So for any of you that is, new to Amazon FBA and want a little bit more clarity as, what it actually takes to get started and so on and so forth, this video is going to be great for you. Now, full transparency as well, before I go ahead and get started on the slideshow here, is that, when it comes to Amazon FBA, guys, there's so much depth to the business model that I really couldn't do in just this video alone. But this video, carries a lot of weight as to what to expect when you get started. And, like I said, there's more layers to Amazon FBA, but this gives a pretty good overview as to what to expect and what to do when starting a brand on Amazon FBA in 2024 and in 2025. Let's get started. So first things first is going to be budget. Settling what your budget is going to be is going to be very much vital, because this will be the determining factor as to what product and niche you can get into. So for example, if you only have a budget of $20,000, you shouldn't be looking at niches where the top 3 sellers are around $150,000 a month, $80,000 a month, and $50,000 a month. You will get crushed and won't be able to keep up with the sales velocity along with their PPC spend and budget that they're currently working with at the time. So what to look out for? Well, this is going to be in the next slide. Instead, look for niches where the top sellers look like this with a budget of $20,000. $35,000 a month, $22,300 a month, and $14,500 a month. This is going to give you a pretty healthy range as to what to get into when working with a budget of that amount. You won't get crushed, and you also just have to factor in other things as well that come into play with budget as well, that I'll be getting into as well. So you have to factor in the fees that that come with selling on Amazon. Usually there's a 15% fee that they take away from you per sale. Then there's a fee on Amazon where it's $40 a month. Then there's inventory potentially if you can't seem to sell quick enough. There's PPC, and then if you genuinely wanted to outsource these things, there's the SEO that you'd like to get set up, the photography and videography, along with brand registry being around $800. I'm sure you can maybe get slightly less than that with someone else, but brand registry, or Amazon has their own brand registry within Amazon that you can go with that will take around a few days to get that set up for you. So another part that that will be vital to include as well is that you will need ideally enough budget for the first order and the second order, so you don't lose organic ranking and continue feeding the Amazon flywheel. Running out of stock isn't the end all, that is true, but it will hurt your ranking pretty hard depending on how long you are out of stock. I remember being out of stock for a product that was doing very well for me at the start, where I was making, I think, $18,000 my first month, and unfortunately I didn't calculate properly the amount of inventory I actually needed. So I never ended up buying that second hand inventory because I thought it would have been so slow, more slowly than what I expected. And because of that, I was out of stock for 2.5 months, and I never could have gained the traction again that I once had before. So another thing to include there. Product research. Well, it's not Amazon unless you have a product to sell. Use tools like Helium 10, Jungle Scout, and ChatGPT to start the inspiration process of ideas. Gather at least 5 to 10 different niches / products to do a deep dive on in the customer buying journey per product research session. You should be left on a weekly basis with 50 to 100 product niches to go down a checklist before finalizing anything. So personally for me, I like looking at niches that revolve around some sort of hobby or passion. For example, golf, paintball, tennis, pets. This is just easier to sell in because you kind of have an idea of what to look out for and what they're potentially going to buy along their customer journey. But do not negate boring niches like chicken care, lawn care, etc. Some of these boring niches that we consider boring are actually the ones that make a lot of money. So do not negate them. And no, you do not need to do X hobby or whatnot to get into the niche. Products that I've sold in the past, I had nothing to do with them in my past, and it all really just came down to understanding the customer and understanding the niche to get started on that. So yeah, besides that, look for products ideally above $50. Anything below that, you start hitting your margins from a negative aspect, since there are fees associated with selling and PPC with that as well. So, having a high price point with above 50 is going to help out a lot with your margins and help you become more profitable in the long run. Finalization checklist. There's a longer checklist that I like to go off of personally, but for the sake of this video, we're going to go and do this instead. Is the product above $50? If it is, check mark. Does it fit my budget? If it does, look at the top sellers in the market. Does it fit the average of what your budget is? You can easily put the top 5 sellers into ChatGPT. Tell ChatGPT to give you the average of the top 5 sellers, and if it's very much close to your budget, check it off. Do you have ideas on how to differentiate the product that won't be heavy in cost with your supplier? The reason why I say that is because, let's say with wooden products, you can easily customize that with your supplier, but things maybe like somewhat of an electronic may be higher in cost if you want to include some sort of, I guess you could say, special thing to the product. That will cost you a couple $1,000s for a plastic mold injection with the supplier. That will cost you a bit of money. However, going down that route may help you with standing out even further than that. So you do have the budget for that. That might be something to consider. Do you have an idea on how to stand out visually? When I say this, I mean, is your branding on point? Is the listing on point? Do you look better than what's already out there in the market? Next thing is Amazon selling your niche? This is something that I've mentioned before in a product research video, where if Amazon's selling in there, I highly recommend just avoiding it like the plague, honestly. It's not worth it. Do you understand who your customer archetype is? Do you understand how they think about their hobby? Do you understand why they buy certain things and when they buy certain things, and what things they buy in the pipeline along their journey? They may start out, for example, in the gym with a gym shirt, gym shorts, and then they may go into a thing like a weight belt when they're higher, or they're much in a higher level of weightlifting, where they're starting to do more weight for their pull-ups, and they start including things like that, resistant bands, like things in that nature, where they currently are in their customer journey. Like, do you understand everything about it? Do you have a product pipeline? This kind of goes back into number 6 about us understanding the customer archetype. Do you understand what your entry product is going to be? Do you know what the next product is going to be when you launch the next product? Things of that nature. You should have a good set of products ready to go that revolve around the same niche for you to launch when things are going well. Check for seasonality. Ideally, it being evergreen, you're in the clear. Ensure the product isn't gated. There are some niches in Amazon that are gated, so things like a spy pen, for example, you're just automatically just going to be banned. Do more research into this so that you don't get burned. Is your net ROI above 70% or so after PPC? If you want to get the utmost profit in your brand, ensuring this is going to be vital. Differentiation. Check reviews in your niche to see how you can stand out from a functionality aspect and go from there. Even 5-star reviews even give you some gold nuggets to see how you can stand out. Look into all the reviews in the top sellers to see what you can do to improve the product. Check top listings in your niche on how you can stand out visually. ensuring that the branding is on point, ensuring that the photography and the videography is on point, and everything just looks clear and straight to the point, and ensuring your branding speaks to the customer. I can't tell you how many times that I've seen products being sold in some sort of niche, and then when you click into their brand store, it has nothing to do with the product at all. So if you're selling something like let's say a paintball mask, but when you click on it on their brand store, it's just different types of mask. It looks like a Halloween store, like you're buying a Michael Myers mask, or you're buying a paintball mask, and you're buying whatever mask, you know what I mean? Like if it's just all over the place and has nothing to do with the branding itself, getting that sorted is going to be helpful. Now, product modes are expensive, like I mentioned before. So if you can find a product where you can make minor changes to the product, it's going to be pretty much vital. We don't need to reinvent the wheel, you know? And when I say that, it's like we don't need to come in with the new Facebook within the marketplace that we're going into. We just need to make a couple great changes that may be minor to us, but may be major to the customer. Suppliers, ensure that they're verified and have trade assurance, ideally with more than 5 years of experience, and you'll see all this information under their listing. Speak with multiple suppliers to see who gives best price and quality. Order multiple samples from different suppliers who have shown quality, great response time, and eagerness to work with you, and also works with the customizations you want to implement in your product. Now, where should I find suppliers? Alibaba is probably going to be your go-to place. I know guys in the space that use US suppliers. However, not everyone is going to need a US supplier. I'll make a separate video on when you should go with a Chinese supplier or when you should go with a US supplier. Branding, ensuring that it speaks to the customer. Everything looks modernized and simple. Simping naming convention that connects to the customer in some fashion. High quality photography and videos. Do not skimp out on this on your listing. Please do not. You know, at least if you want something that's quality, you're roughly going to be spending within $500 to $1,000 for everything. A few examples of great branding: Zesty Paws, Stanley, and Grail. These are all brands on Amazon you can look into to kind of give some sort of inspiration of what you should pull off. Creating a winning product listing. SEO rich listing. A+ content will give you a premium feel to the listing, and you can have this set up by being brand registered with Amazon. Ensuring you're hitting the max characters for your listing title and bullet points. Your product listing is your sales pitch. You need a clear keyword, optimized title, compelling bullet points that highlight benefits and pain points, and high quality images. Don't underestimate the power of good copywriting. Focus on what sets your product apart from what's already being sold. Amazon PPC/launch strategies. Amazon gives you a honeymoon period where it ranks higher organically. We need to abuse this moment Amazon is giving us. So creating an orchestra of traffic, shout out to Adam Hyde for the phrase, is going to be a big help for pushing your listing higher organically. We do this by implementing social media like TikTok or influencer marketing to support the launch, and of course, a properly created PPC campaigns for the launch. To get your product in front of customers, you'll need a launch strategy no matter what. Amazon PPC is the start, but combine that with a strong social media push or influencer marketing, and you'll build that momentum quickly and strong. Scaling. Once your brand gains traction, you'll need to focus on scaling. This means optimizing your PPC further, expanding to new marketplaces, and launching new products from the product pipeline that complements the existing brand. Testing listing images to see if another converts better, and launching variations of color and size depending on what the product is, or maybe even a version 2 of the product. So guys, that's going to be a in-depth tutorial on how to get started on Amazon FBA. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a comment, please subscribe, and if you guys have any comments or questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I really hope this guide helped you out immensely, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.